Hi everyone, welcome to yoga this evening. Hope you're all doing well. We're going to start on our backs on your mat, so you can make your way there. We're going to start with our knees bent, keeping both feet flat onto the mat, resting the arms alongside the body, palms facing up or down, and you can come to close the eyes. Starting with a deep inhale through the nose and a gentle sigh out the mouth. Allowing this moment just to connect to your surroundings, using this practice to get out of your head, get into your bodies, to clear space in the joints, use it as an opportunity to let go of any tension you've been storing, especially in the hips and in the shoulders. Giving yourself that gentle reminder to just come back to breath. Keeping the eyes closed, you can gently place that right ankle across your left thigh into a gentle figure four. You may keep your left foot on the mat at this stage. It is early on in your practice, but if you are wanting to take it a little bit further, you can draw that left knee in towards your chest, threading your right arm between the space in the legs and taking a hold of that left shin. Unwrapping that right foot, sending that right foot down onto the mat, and then wrapping that left ankle across your right thigh, staying like this if you need to. Otherwise, if you'd like to take it further, you can bring that right knee in towards the chest, taking a hold of that right shin, just being mindful of the hips, of the glutes. It is early on in your practice, so staying with that right foot on the mat if you need to. And then gently unwrapping that left foot, placing both feet down onto the mat, drawing that right knee in towards your chest, taking a big inhale here, and on the exhale, hug that right knee tighter towards you. Placing your left hand onto the outside of your right knee, sending your right arm out to the side, and then drawing that left knee across the body, or that right knee across the body for a supine twist. Gently making your way back through center. Placing that right foot down onto the mat, drawing your left knee in towards the chest. Taking a big inhale here. And on the exhale, hug that left knee in tighter towards you. Taking your right hand to the outside of your left knee, sending your left arm out to the side, and then drawing that left knee across the body for a supine twist. Gently making your way back through center, keeping both knees bent, placing the feet back onto the mat, placing your left hand onto your heart center and your right hand onto your belly, closing the eyes, just taking a moment to come back to your breath, to your surroundings, trying to get out of that head and into your body. On your next inhale, reaching the arms behind the head, taking a big stretch, and then hugging knees into chest, giving yourself a big squeeze. And when you're ready, gently making your way up onto your mats. We're placing the soles of the feet to touch, knees go wide, and you can gently come to walk the hands forward into a fold. Taking an inhale, halfway lift. Gently walking the hands back towards the hips, crossing over the ankles and making your way into a tabletop. So making sure that we keep our shoulders over our wrists and our hips over our knees. Moving through a few cat and cows here. On the inhale, we're pulling that chest between the arms, gazing forward. And then exhale, tucking chin to chest, rounding into that back, pressing up between the shoulder blades. Inhale all the way through, gazing forward. And exhale, tucking chin to chest, rounding through that back. One more inhale, pulls that chest all the way through, gazing forward. And exhale, chin to chest, rounding through that back. Coming back into a neutral spine, we're going to extend that right foot out behind us and then placing it onto the mat behind you. You can send that left foot out behind you for stability. And we're gently going to tilt that chest towards the side, extending into the right fingertips here. So we're just trying to find a big stretch into that right side body. Really trying to pull that body out from the right fingertips to the right toes. And then placing that right hand back down onto your mat, turning back to tabletop. Same thing other side, extending the left toes out behind you, placing them onto the back of the mat. You can send that right foot out to the side and then extending the left fingertips out to the front of your mat. Placing that left hand down, returning to your tabletop, keeping the hips where they are. Slowly start to walk those hands out in front of you, resting that chest onto the mat, gazing forward. If this is too much, you can rest the top of the head or the forehead onto your mat, taking puppy position here. And then grounding through those forearms, gazing forward, gently pulling that chest and belly all the way through. Spreading your fingertips out wide onto the mat, pulling those shoulders away from the ears, gazing forward. Slight activation in the tops of the feet. And you can just move that head and neck around here if the shoulders are particularly tight. Just loosening up any tension. Bringing that gaze back through center. Dropping the hands to beneath the shoulders. We're tucking the toes. Sending the hips all the way back. Keeping the toes tucked. And we're trying to keep belly attached to thighs. Slowly start to lift the hips, pressing into the hands, still keeping belly attached to the thighs, and then gently extending that right leg, keeping that belly onto that left thigh. So feeling the stretch in that right hamstring, pressing the mat away with the hands. Bending into that right knee, and this time straightening into the left leg. And then when you're ready, straightening into both for your downward facing dog. From your downward facing dog, bend in the knees, gaze forward. Slowly start to walk the feet to the top of your mats, taking an inhale, halfway lift, and an exhale, fold. Inhale, rising all the way up to stand on your mats, and exhale, taking hands through heart center and alongside the body. Inhale, reaching those fingertips all the way up, and exhale, forward fold. Inhale, take a halfway lift, flat back, and exhale, step back to a high plank. Inhale here, and on the exhale, we're dropping knees, chest, chin to mat. Inhale to a low cobra. And exhale, tucking toes, downward facing dog. Next, inhale, bend in the knees, gaze forward. Step one foot and then the other to the top of your mat. Inhale, halfway lift. And exhale, forward fold. Inhale, rising all the way up, palms to touch. And exhale, hands through heart center and alongside the body. Inhale, hands rise. Exhale, we fold. Inhale, take a halfway lift. And then we're going to step that left foot to the back of your mat, walking the hands over to the left hand side, making your way into a wide angle fold. Placing both hands down onto the mat. If you can, inhale, we're finding length through the spine. On the exhale, we bend into the right knee, straightening into the left. Inhale through center. And exhale, bend into the left knee. Inhale through center. Exhale, bend the right. Inhale through center. And exhale, bend the left. Inhale through center, walking the hands towards the front of your mat, toes start to face the front, you can heel toe that right foot to the outer edge of your mat, and you can gently make your way into your lizard or runner's lunge. You can stay here if this feels good, keeping the toes tucked. If this is a bit much for you today, dropping that back knee down and untuck the toes. Or maybe you'd like to take it even further by resting on those forearms. It's always nice to find a little bit of movement here, especially if you've been sitting at a table all day. So maybe rocking forwards and backwards or making little circles. And then we're placing that left hand into the center of your mat. Inhale, the right arm rises. Placing that right hand back down onto the mat. On your next inhale, bringing that left foot all the way to the top of the mat, coming to sit the hips down low in Malasana Yogi Squat. So if those hips are feeling a bit tight, you can use this as a time to move the hips from side to side. When you're ready, bringing hands to heart center, chest to sky. Taking one more inhale where you are. And on the exhale, dropping hands to mat, pressing those hips up high. You can keep a bend in the knees here, taking a hold of opposite elbows and coming to hang that upper body down low. If it feels nice, maybe rocking from side to side or forwards and backwards. And then placing both hands down onto the mat, heel toe those feet together, taking an inhale, halfway lift. And on the exhale, we're stepping the right foot to the back of the mat, turning the hands towards the right hand side. Once again, finding your wide angle fold, taking a big inhale here. And on the exhale, we're bending into that left knee. Inhale through center, exhale to the right. Inhale through center and exhale to the left. Inhale through center and exhale right. Inhale through center and walking the hands back towards the front of the mat, toes to face forward. You can walk that left foot to the outside of your mat. Once again, making your way into your version of lizard. Keeping that back knee down if you'd like to. Finding a little bit of movement if this feels good. And then we're placing that right hand into the center of your mat. Inhale, that left hand rises. Placing that left hand back down onto your mat. And on your next inhale, we're stepping that right foot forward, coming to sit in Malasana Yogi Squat once again. one more inhale here. And on the exhale, hands to mat, and we're going to step it back to downward facing dog. On your next inhale, your right leg rises to three-legged dog. And then we're gently stepping that right foot between the hands. Back knee comes down. And you can keep the toes tucked for a low lunge here. This is going to be our inhale. And on the exhale, we're going to take the hips back for a half Hanuman. Inhale to low lunge. And exhale, half Hanuman. Inhale, low lunge. And exhale, half Hanuman. Coming back to that low lunge. If you need to, keeping the back toes tucked for stability, we're going to bring the arms alongside the body. If you can, fingertips to touch the mat. And then keeping that right hand down, we inhale that left arm up to the sky and seeing if we can reach it all the way to the back right corner of the mat. So feeling it stretch all the way down that left side into that left hip flexor. Inhale, come back up to center, and exhale, hands to mat, step it back to downward facing dog. On your next inhale, that left leg rises to three-legged dog, and then we're stepping it all the way between the hands. Back knee comes down, and you can keep the back toes tucked. Taking our inhale here for a low lunge. And exhale, taking the hips back to a half Hanuman. Inhale to a low lunge. And exhale, half Hanuman. Inhale to a low lunge. And exhale, half Hanuman. Inhale, coming back to your low lunge. You can keep that the back toes tucked for stability. Bringing the hands up to center, and if you can, those middle fingers touch the mat. Inhale, that right arm rises, and we're sending it all the way to the back left corner this time. So opening up all the way through that right hip flexor. Inhale, come back through center, and exhale, hands to mat, downward facing dog. On your next inhale, your right leg rises. This time you can send that right foot all the way up towards the sky, opening up through the hip. And then stepping that right foot between the hands. Walking the hands over towards the left hand side, and we're going to bend into our right knee, straightening into the left, preparing for a skandasana to the front of your mat. You can either keep the hands flat onto the mat, making sure that we keep the left toes pointing all the way up to the sky. If you can, bringing hands to heart center. Placing both hands down behind you, coming to sit on your mat, keeping that right knee tucked in towards you, taking a hold of your right shin with that left hand. Inhale the right hand all the way up, and then we're extending it over towards the left toes. Inhale, rising all the way back up to center, placing both hands down onto the front of your mat. Inhale that right knee up and back to downward facing dog. Inhale, that left leg rises and you can open up the hip, sending the left toes as high as you can. Before stepping that left foot between the hands, walking the hands over towards the right hand side. And then we're going to come to sit in Skandasana towards the front of your mat, bending into your left knee, straightening into the right. Keeping both hands either on the mat or, if you can, bringing them to heart center. Placing both hands down behind you, coming to sit onto your mat, keeping that left knee hugging in towards you, taking a hold of that left knee with your right arm. Inhale, the left fingertips rise, and exhale, sending it over towards the back of your mat. Inhale, coming back through center, placing both hands down onto the top of your mat. Inhale, that left knee up and back for downward facing dog. From your downward facing dog, we're placing one knee and then the other down onto your mats. Sitting all the way down to the side. We're going to come back to lie on our backs with those knees still bent. Placing that left hand onto your heart center, right hand onto belly, closing the eyes. Just getting back to breath, slowing that heart rate down. Taking in the surroundings. As you continue to immerse yourself in the surroundings of nature, you can extend one leg and then the other onto your mats, letting your arms down beside you, palms facing the sky. Taking a big inhale through the nose. And a gentle release out the mouth. You may stay in this Shavasana for as long as you need to. I thank you for allowing me to guide your practice. Namaste.